Life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't text before they knock. They show up, sometimes quietly, sometimes loud, but always fast. And here's the truth. The difference between the people who succeed and the people who keep waiting is the speed of their decisions. Some of you are sitting here today stuck in analysis paralysis. You're thinking, I'll start tomorrow. I'll think a little more. I'll wait for the perfect moment. Let me tell you something. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Success doesn't whisper. It demands action. Every second you hesitate is a second someone else is moving forward, building, creating, taking what could have been yours. You might be afraid, and that's human. Fear isn't the enemy. It's a signal. It tells you where to step, where to grow. But if you let it stop you, you'll spend your whole life wondering, what if? Imagine the person who almost took a chance, who almost spoke up, who almost walked through that door, and someone else took it instead. That could be you. If you don't act, you have everything you need to make a move right now. Your mind, your skills, your courage. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Make the decision. Take the step. Let life see that you are ready. Every second you spend hesitating is a second someone else is moving forward. And I'm not just talking about business or money. I'm talking about life. Every moment you pause, the world keeps spinning, opportunities keep passing, doors keep closing, and your potential keeps slipping through your fingers. Studies show that the average entrepreneur misses about 35% of opportunities simply because they delayed decisions. Think about that. 35% of chances gone because of hesitation. And that's not luck. That's hesitation. That's fear disguised as caution. Let me be clear, the world doesn't reward the careful. It doesn't reward the person who sits at their desk waiting for a sign. It rewards action. It rewards the people who step up, who make a move when everyone else is still thinking, when everyone else is still doubting. Think about it. If you had invested in Amazon in 1997 and waited a year because you needed more research, you wouldn't be writing yourself a check today. Every great achievement, every life-changing opportunity demanded a choice, and it demanded it fast. And it's not just about money. It's about moments in your life, the decision to speak up, to follow your heart, to change careers, to move to a new city. Those choices, when delayed, become regrets. And regrets have a way of haunting you louder than failure ever could. Indecision is sneaky. It whispers in your ear. Wait a little longer. Think this through. Maybe tomorrow. And the longer you listen, the more your confidence erodes, the more your momentum fades. You see, success isn't about perfection. It isn't about having a flawless plan that guarantees you won't stumble. Success is about movement. It's about picking a direction and committing to it. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates results. And results, my friends, change everything. I want you to picture a young man I knew who had a chance to pitch an idea that could have changed his career. He hesitated. He waited for the right time. 2 weeks later, someone else pitched the idea, and it took off. Millions of dollars later, he was left wondering, what if? That's what indecision does. It robs you of your destiny while convincing you it's keeping you safe. The truth is this safety is often just stagnation in disguise. So I'm here to tell you, hesitation will never be your friend. Waiting for certainty will never bring you clarity. Life doesn't pause for you to make the perfect move. You don't need a guarantee. You don't need the stars to align. You need courage and you need action. Because every time you choose quickly, every time you take that leap without overthinking, you learn, you grow, you move closer to the life you've been dreaming about. Indecision is the thief of success, but decisiveness is the key that unlocks it. The choice is always yours. Act fast or watch the world pass you by. Most people hesitate because they're afraid of failing, afraid of making the wrong choice. I get it. It's human. But let me tell you something. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a compass, not a stop sign. It's pointing you to the places where growth is waiting for you, to the risks that will stretch you, to the moments that will define your life. The problem is not fear itself. The problem is letting it tell you to stay put, to wait, to do nothing. Think about it. Every breakthrough, every life-changing decision comes with a shadow of fear. No one steps into greatness without that pit in the stomach, without that moment of doubt. But here's the difference between the people who succeed and the people who just dream. Those who succeed step forward anyway. They let fear guide them, not paralyze them. Fear says, this is risky. You might fail. And the brave say, good, that's exactly why I'm doing it. I want you to picture a young professional I once knew. He had a chance to pitch an idea to a huge company, something that could have elevated his career, changed the trajectory of his life. But he hesitated. He worried about being judged, worried about being wrong, worried about what people might say. 2 weeks passed, and someone else pitched it instead. That idea became a multi-million-dollar project, but he didn't act. The opportunity didn't wait for him. Life doesn't wait for anyone. Fear robbed him of his moment, and it robbed him of a chance to see what he was truly capable of. Fear will do that to you if you let it. It will whisper lies, convince you that hesitation is protection, that waiting is safety. But waiting is the luxury of those who don't have dreams, who don't have ambitions, who aren't hungry for more. You have dreams, you have ambition, you have hunger. So why are you letting fear decide for you? The truth is, fear is a signpost. It's pointing you straight to the places where you're meant to stretch, to the challenges that will mold you, to the risks that will ultimately reward you. Every time you push past fear, you grow. Every time you make a move while shaking inside, you build courage. Every time you act despite the fear, you prove to yourself that you're bigger than your doubts, stronger than your hesitation, and ready for whatever life has in store. Don't let fear rob you of your moment. Don't let it steal your opportunity, your dreams, your life. Step into the fear, let it guide you, and move fast. Because the people who move fast, who take action in spite of fear, they are the ones who change their lives and sometimes change the world. When you decide fast, you don't just take action, you create momentum. And I mean real momentum, the kind that carries you forward, the kind that makes things happen even when the world is trying to slow you down. Think about a simple example, driving a car. You pull up to a green light, and if you hesitate just for a second, the world moves on. Cars around you start moving, people get ahead, opportunities pass by, and you're left standing still, wishing you had acted sooner. But the moment you step on that gas, even if you're not perfect, even if you make a small mistake, you gain speed, you gain confidence, you gain control. That's momentum. Momentum compounds. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. The first push might seem small, almost insignificant, but with every decision, with every step forward, it grows. A fast decision today leads to bigger decisions tomorrow. The person who decides quickly on one opportunity develops the muscle to decide quickly on the next. That confidence spreads not just in business, not just in career, but in life. Suddenly, you're not waiting for life to happen. You're making life happen. And when you're moving, doors open that you never even saw before. People notice. Opportunities show up. The world begins to respond to your energy because energy, action, and momentum are magnetic. I knew someone who had been stuck in a job they didn't love for years. They hesitated every time an opportunity came along. They doubted themselves, they questioned, they waited. Then one day they made a decision. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't fully thought out, but they acted. That action created momentum. It led to another opportunity, then another and another. Within a few years, that person had completely transformed their life. They weren't lucky, they were moving. Every decision built on the last. Every action compounded. The lesson is this: perfection is the enemy of momentum. Waiting for all the pieces to fall into place will leave you frozen while the world keeps moving. Speed creates leverage. Fast decisions build confidence. Fast decisions generate opportunities. The person who moves first, even imperfectly, shapes the game. The people who hesitate wait to react. They wait to see what happens. And in that waiting, life passes them by. So start today. Make a decision. Take that first step and watch what happens. Even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, momentum doesn't wait for perfection. It rewards action. It rewards courage. And it rewards those who understand that life doesn't give second chances. It gives chances in the moment, and only to those willing to act. Once you start moving, the world begins to bend in your favor. Doors open, paths appear, and suddenly, things you never thought possible are within reach. That's the power of fast decisions. That's the power of momentum. And once it starts, it's unstoppable. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if I make the wrong choice? And I hear you. That fear is real. But let me tell you something, the wrong choice is always better than no choice at all. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every life that changes started with someone daring to act, knowing they might stumble. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he finally invented the light bulb. Thousands. And here's the thing, every single one of those failures wasn't a dead end. It was a lesson. It was a step closer. He didn't wait for perfection. He didn't sit paralyzed, wishing for a guarantee. He decided, he acted, and he adjusted. And that's how brilliance happens. That's how you create a life worth remembering. Think about your own life. Every choice you've made, good or bad, has taught you something. Maybe you trusted the wrong person. Maybe you took a job that wasn't right. Maybe you spoke up when you shouldn't have. But all of those choices shaped you. They gave you knowledge, experience, resilience, and insight. The wrong choice, as painful as it can feel in the moment, is never wasted if you learn from it. Indecision, on the other hand, is wasted energy. Waiting, hesitating, overthinking. Time passes, and life doesn't pause for you. That's the cost of inaction, time lost, opportunities missed, potential wasted. You cannot afford that. I want you to picture someone who dreamed of starting a business, but never did because they were scared of failing. Year after year, they planned, they strategized, they waited for the perfect moment. And in the meantime, someone else took that leap, stumbled, fell, got up, adjusted, and succeeded. The difference wasn't talent. The difference wasn't luck. It was action. They acted. They made mistakes. They learned and they moved forward. That's how progress is made. That's how momentum grows. That's how dreams are realized. Here's the truth. The world doesn't reward the cautious. It doesn't hand out medals for sitting safely on the sidelines. It rewards those who step into the arena even when the outcome is uncertain. Every mistake is a teacher, every misstep is a guide, and every wrong turn can redirect you towards something even greater than you imagined. You can let fear of failure keep you frozen, or you can let it push you to try, to test, to grow. Action, even imperfect action, always wins over hesitation. So don't fear making the wrong choice. Fear standing still. Fear watching life pass you by while you wait for a guarantee that will never come. Step forward, decide, act, and adjust. Learn from the mistakes, embrace the lessons, and keep moving. The price of indecision is far higher than the price of mistakes, and the rewards of action, no matter the outcome, are limitless. The world belongs to those who are willing to take the first step, stumble, rise, and step again, faster, stronger, wiser. Finally, once you decide, you have to commit fully. You can't dip your toes in the water and expect to swim across the ocean. Half-hearted action is the cousin of failure. You have to go all in. Real success demands courage, clarity, and commitment. It demands that when you make a decision, you plant your flag and move forward, no matter what doubts or distractions try to pull you back. Think about someone who decides to start a business. If they only work on it a little bit, if they only try when it's convenient, if they only give a fraction of themselves, they'll never see the kind of success they're capable of. The world doesn't reward hesitation or half-hearted effort. It rewards those who step up, who dedicate themselves fully, who own their path and refuse to be moved by fear or uncertainty. That's the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. I remember a story about a friend who decided to leave a steady job to follow his passion. Everyone told him he was crazy. The safer route was waiting for him, comfortable and predictable. But he committed. He didn't just try. He didn't just dip his toes. He jumped in with everything he had, time, energy, heart, and mind. And because he committed fully, doors opened. Opportunities appeared that he never expected. He made mistakes, sure, but he learned, he adapted, and he pushed harder. Today, he's not just surviving, he's thriving. The world rewarded his decisiveness because he owned his choice. The lesson is clear: commitment transforms action into results. It takes the energy you've spent deciding and channels it into creating momentum, building resilience and producing outcomes. Every decision you make, if fully committed to, compounds. Every step you take becomes stronger than the last because you are no longer afraid of halfway effort. You understand that the price of regret is higher than the cost of risk. You know that the world respects decisiveness, and decisiveness is contagious. It draws people in, it inspires, it creates influence. This applies to everything: career, relationships, health, personal growth. If you decide to get in shape, do it with everything you've got. Don't do it just for a week, a month, or when you feel like it. Commit. Own it. If you decide to learn a new skill, dive in fully. Don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect conditions. They don't exist. The moment you commit, the universe starts responding. People notice, doors open, life begins to move in alignment with your action. So, make your decision and then give it your all. Stand tall, own your path, and move forward without looking back. The world is filled with people who wait, who hesitate, who question themselves, and that's why they fall behind. But the person who decides, commits, and takes action, that person changes their life. That person creates momentum. That person becomes unstoppable. And that person, you, deserves nothing less than everything you've ever dreamed of. So here's my challenge to you: decide today. Decide fast. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait for permission. Don't sit there hoping someone else will hand you the life you want on a silver platter. Take control of your life right now. Every second you delay, the world moves on. Someone else takes the opportunity you've been staring at. Someone else steps through the door you were thinking about knocking on. The people who make fast decisions, they are the ones who build empires, create legacies, and leave stories worth telling. And those stories, those moments of courage, start with a choice. Think about it for a second. Your success isn't hiding behind the next email, the next meeting, or the next Monday. It's not waiting for a perfect plan or for a moment when you feel ready. That's a lie we tell ourselves to feel safe. Your success is waiting for your choice. It's waiting for your courage. It's waiting for the moment when you say, enough, I'm stepping up. I'm claiming this. I'm moving forward no matter what. That's when life begins to bend in your favor. That's when opportunities multiply. That's when momentum takes over and doors open that you didn't even know were there. I want you to picture yourself 5 years from now. Are you sitting in the same spot, wishing you had acted sooner? Or are you standing tall, looking back with pride, knowing you took the leap, knowing you acted despite fear, knowing you refused to let indecision steal your life? The difference between those two versions of yourself is this: one decided, one hesitated, one moved, one waited. And the one who moves is the one who wins, not just in money or recognition, but in confidence, in growth, in freedom. So step up, decide. Move. Take that first step, even if it's messy, even if you don't have all the answers, even if fear is screaming at you to stay put. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of it. Momentum isn't built by waiting. It's built by moving. Your dreams aren't going to send you a reminder. They need your action to become real. Every moment you hesitate, someone else is writing their story, building their life, claiming their future. The only way you get what you want is to start right now. Your moment is now. It's in this heartbeat, this breath, this choice. Don't let it slip away. Don't look back with regret. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow doesn't owe you a thing. Decide today. Decide fast. Step into fear. Step into action. Step into the life you've been dreaming about. And when you do, when you finally move, you'll discover something powerful. You are stronger than your doubts, braver than your hesitation, and capable of more than you ever imagined. The world is waiting. Go